So when disasters strike, like the floods in Texas, these are occasions to see the worst of Mother Nature and the best in human nature. This week, volunteers are stepping up to help Texas families who lost their homes, their loved ones, everything. The Florida-based nonprofit Global Empowerment Mission, or GEM for short, is distributing supplies like food, water, and debit cards to those in need. GEM was founded in 2010 in response to the devastating earthquake in Haiti. Since then, the group has deployed to over 370 disaster zones, including the Los Angeles fires, Ukraine, and of course now Texas. Joining me now is the founder and president of Global Empowerment Mission, Michael Capponi. Michael, thanks so much. I know you're actually in a fire engine in Hunt, Texas. You're on the ground there. I'm just curious, tell me what your impressions are of what you're seeing.
Yeah, it's a very different disaster than what we're used to, right? It's a much bigger disaster than what most of America uh, thinks, I believe, right? It's not just what happened at Camp Mystic and the trailer park, which we were just with Lorena yesterday, by the way. This is 30, 40 mile stretch, and pretty much every single person that had a house or business along that river or anywhere up from it doesn't exist anymore, right? But then everything else is normal. So it's like a completely different, very surgical response for us. And you just heard from her right earlier. I mean, we've heard these stories all week being here. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. It's there's children that were found literally 2 miles later hanging on a tree. Everywhere you look, there's clothing of children on branches that are 30, 25, 35 feet high. So that just like explains how high that water receded everywhere. So we have some aid trucks that, got in today from Miami. There's survivors that are just now getting back into the Hunt area, right? Because this area has been closed off. This is basically ground zero. We've been inviting through our partnership with Bethany Frankel those Be Strong gift cards that we have. So we're giving all the basic evacuee survivors $1,000 right now each, just so they have some short-term incidental, because most of them are coming back to nothing. There is nothing to come back to. That's what everybody needs to understand. It's very similar like North Carolina.
Right. Just hearing Lorena talk about what she saw that night, it's traumatic to listen to her story. I can't imagine living her own story. Are a lot of these people that you're seeing who are returning back to see the devastation for the first time just utterly shell-shocked?
Yeah, I mean, it's this is going to touch this community for decades. It's like I said, there's nothing to see when you come back to. If you live close to the river, that's it. It's all washed away. There's nothing. It's just stripped. And you'll be lucky if you could find your car 2 miles down the river on top of a hill somewhere, and it looks like it went through a war zone in Ukraine because it's been rolled over like 100 times throughout the river. So you can imagine what people went through while they were in that water, like it being in a laundry machine almost, with that kind of pressure. So it's very, very heartbreaking, and gonna be a very long-term response for us here.
Unlike many of the disasters to which you've responded, in this one, there are so many children who are dead, so many children who are missing. That's what makes this so sadly unique, so awfully, awfully unique in that way.
Yeah. The chief firefighter who basically allowed me to do this interview from this engine, he's also the principal of the school where many of the children that were in the camp attend. So you can imagine the people right now that are calling the survivors to come pick up our gift cards, they're the mothers of these children.
Unfathomable. All right, so you're giving out hygiene kits, you're giving out food, you're giving out water. If folks want to help contribute to their organization to help get those necessities to the survivors down there, how do they donate to your organization?
Yeah, you could go on our website, globalempowermentmission.org. We've had some incredible donors already, like David and Nicole Tepper Foundation that, donated $100,000, and we will take that money and literally convert it immediately into cash Visa cards and then give it to everybody. There's going to be thousands of people to, give money to. They're going to have to start over completely from scratch.
They've lost everything.
They've lost everything. So, as nice as it is to bring, cases of water and used clothes and everything, they're going to need a lot more than that in the next couple of months. So
How many folks have you been able to help so far?
I think today, you've got to, it's hard. People are just coming back to this area now. So I think we've probably given, 30 or so families, probably $500 or $1,000 each just today. They're just getting back. They're in shock.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. Michael Capponi, thank you so much. Really appreciate you and the work you and your organization do to help folks in need. And again, to our audience, you can go to globalempowermentmission.org/donate. As Michael just said, all of your money will go to help the folks in Texas.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.